everybody. In this episode, we tackle some DC issues, and we go for a sail and see a lot of birds, a whole pile of them. And last we had to rescue our neighbor's boat from a possum.
Yeah, he is. Dad, you should...
So I'm just doing a little bit of DC power work here. I've got a Orion Tr-48-12-9, or I had one, and I bought a second one. You can hook up, they say, an indefinite amount in parallel if you want more amps. So the -9 means that there's 9 amps. And then I relocated it, so I had to, of course, the boat's a disaster. I've basically taken apart everything, thrown things every which way. And I just turned everything back on. In my fans, you can see I'm drawing basically 60 watts. That's because my fridge is on. So I've had the power off now for 3 hours while I redid this. So I basically took my my DC-DC converter out here, and then I was doing some installation work right here. This wiring right here is all temporary. I'm going to be buying some marine grade tinted wire so it doesn't rust, and then replacing all the wiring this winter. So I just wanted to make sure while I was getting things done, just use some cheaper wire, get things placed the way I need it, and then understand how things work. The way it works is I ended up soldering 2 wires together to jump for the negative. And I put this Glasgow 40 amp breaker in. So essentially this comes from the breaker, or not the breaker, but the bus bar, the positive bus bar, and then this one comes from the negative bus bar. These are 10 gauge, these are 10 gauge, and this goes back into actually a 12 gauge wire going back, but I'm going to change this out to 10 gauge. So this device actually provides 110 watts, and by putting them in parallel I can now get 220 watts of power. And the reason why I'm doing this is that I don't want to be anywhere close to using my DC power reserves when my liquid cooling fans are on. So that's kind of new. So I bring it into this breaker. And then this breaker here is a bit too big. I'm going to change this out to a 30. And then these two devices can use, they'll peak at 12.5 each, giving me 25 amps now of DC power going into my my breakers, my main panels. So this is my fuse to cut off all power to the DC system. And there's a couple of internal fuses I think that will break inside if the power draw is too high. And then to put them in parallel, I joined the input wires together. So the single source bridges into the two DC-DC converters, and the black wire is coming from that same DC bus panel inside. And then to go back to my panel, I've got a single wire that I've joined here with two cables. So 2 cables join into almost like a Y, and then I've crimped and heat shrunk them here for protection. So I decided to do that in here mainly because it's on the other side of this. This is really where all the DC comes in anyway, and then this gives me kind of a separate way to hook this up. I've got a nice little cover that goes under here, and I haven't figured out what to put in here for storage yet. So this is I've got 3 storage compartments, so I might not put anything in here except for, something that's not flammable or heat retentive. So I don't know, like a plastic bin or something with some parts in it or something. I might put spare parts here, and then I could put myself a little strap across here so that it keeps a bit of airflow here. And yeah, so that's kind of what I've done. So I think I've solved my amp problem. So now by putting these 2 9 amp devices in parallel, I can now pull 18 amps out, up to 25 max peak. So 18 amps is I was hitting with all of my fans, my marine, my equipment, my chart plotter. I was pulling about 9 amps, actually 10.5 amps when the fridge kicked in. And then the fridge would kick off and I'd be back down around 9 amps. So my fridge is using about 1.5 amps. So I felt that was too close, and if the circuit would have popped in here, though, then I would have no cooling for my electric motor because it would have turned off all the pumps and everything. So yeah. So I guess on the downside, with more power means I'm going to be drawing more power. So I have to just be cognitive of that. So maybe only put certain things on when I'm going to go, like no DC fans, and that will extend my electric motoring capability. Or just sacrifice this, saying, okay, well, I've got 100 watts of power at 12 volts. So that's like 12 amps, right? So I've got basically up to 12 amps that might be consumed at any one time.
Some help, Dan? You're doing great.
Well, I was about to cast off, but
What happened?
I don't like the way that the boat is turned that way. There we go. That way. Get that line, please. You're off deck.
The ducklings are out, Danny.
I gotta watch out for this guy. Hopefully he gets himself sorted out there, because I'm gonna tuck between him and the other guy. What do you think?
Instructor tells him.
It looks like I think he's got it. He's got it.
Danny.
I don't know where else to go. I'm gonna cut this way.
There's another green
yeah,
boat
I see it.
up ahead.
Nope, maybe not.
She's going around in circles before it.
I got him.
The instructor's got him. It's okay.
I think they're okay. They got it.
And there's a green boat right in front of us.
I see the green one, yeah.
A little bit. Look at him.
Oh, it's going over! Oh, Jack.
Wait, it didn't actually flip. Okay, now it does. That was so weird. It went all the way, but then it just stopped, and then he flipped it.
Oh, those are super easy then, eh?
Yeah, they're really light.
Yeah. Where? Look at them. There's another one right there.
Oh, there goes another one. Oh, never mind. Okay. Oh, he flipped it. That guy. I can afford side. There's several. I can afford side. In 3, 2, 1, jack. Oh yeah, we were good.
What? Which system?
The tails on the sail, I could just move them upwards.
These birds have seen a lot of boats, I think. Eh? They're not too scared. Oh, there they go. Cormorants, eh?
Sounds like rain.
Yeah, eh? The sound of so many wings. It's a big thing of cormorants, huh? How many birds is that? It's like a sea of birds.
Mom, come see. It's amazing. But there's so many. Just look at the window then. Like, stick your head up and look at the window. Opposite window. Dang it, Ma, you missed it. They were so cool. They were like
That's it?
right.
That's done?
They were like right beside us.
That's it? That's done?
Look, you missed it.
What do you mean? They're still there. I see birds flying.
8 knots of wind, 7.9, and we're doing 7.4. 8.5 knots. Wow. Doing 8. We're doing more than the wind at the moment. 7. We've got the Genoa out, 150% Genoa. It's actually not the storm jib like I thought, now that I've got it hoisted and measured it. And it's looking pretty good. Mainsail's looking good. Yeah, I'm just trying to get us closer for you. Make sure. How's it looking now? You can make that?
Yeah.
David, breakdown. Thank you. That was too close. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa. Good job, guys.
Great job, Mom.
Great to have a whole team, isn't it?
Yeah. Thank you so much for your help.
All worked out in the end. So we had 9.4 knots. So it was a nice, beautiful, easy sail today. Had a great time out there. We had a couple of gusts where we had some good lean. And then we hit 8.67 knots, which was just, we were just flying there at one point. That was on the upwind. This boat seems to do a lot better on the upwind than the downwind. We went up and around. We went all the way over here, down, tacked over here. This was all upwind because we had the wind going this direction today. And then we took the sail down and came back in here. So I don't know if you can follow any of that because the yellow line's kind of hard to see, but we had a good, it was a good sail.
Is that good? Close enough?
So there's like a
And if I go, oops, the wrong wind. Waypoints, tracks. So we did 8.5 nautical miles in the yellow. You can see we're getting a good amount of traffic over here in the harbor, isn't it? Righto, it was had a good sail. How'd you find it, Lisa?
Leisurely.
It was leisurely. Nothing too crazy.
It was nice to see the birds.
Yeah, we did see a whole pile of birds, when we went through there.
We didn't hit any of the kids out in the sailboats.
Oh yeah, we had one change their direction. It was about, I don't know, 20 feet maybe from us.
Scared them?
I was like, okay, I don't know which way he was going. And then the other thing we did is we tried the storm sail, which actually, now that I hadn't had it out in 3 years. So now that we pull it out, it was actually 140% Genoa, but it's made of a really thick cloth. And it's got UV protection on it too. So I don't know, that might be one to keep now. I'm gonna have to think about it. But I wanted a storm jib, and it's not a storm jib. I thought it was smaller, but the actual square footage of it I think is bigger. So anyways, more to figure out, and we'll see you in the next sail.
What if it leaps at me?
Yeah, well, exactly. Where is that?
Don't let him jump out.
Oh, he's in the second one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there he is. Look at that.
Okay, now I want to see it.
He's turned around because he's scared.
Yeah.
There's his little tail.
Well, I'll try knocking from the front.
Okay.
Oh, I saw him. He ran.
Did he jump? No, no. Did he jump or no?
No, he didn't jump, but yeah, he's right there.
We'll go to that side.
He's moving. I think he's scared. Yeah. Oh, there he is. Yo, he's at the front. Yeah, Dad, he's out. He's out. Yeah, he's on the front. Look at him.
Oh, that is a possum. He's kind of cute.
Yeah, he
He's got
is.
some big teeth.
Dad, you should pet him.
You can probably get him with that.
Yeah, get him with the net. Yeah.
It's got a net, but it's not a very big net.
Woo! Look at him.
You got him.
We got a possum. Gee.
Where do we put it?
Wow.
They can swim, I think.
Yeah, don't just dunk him in the water. Wow.
I'll go take him out to the land.
You're right, he's not small, right? He's quite big.
He's huge.
Wow.
Now I think he's playing possum.
Yeah, I think he's playing dead.
Just before they jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's playing possums where the sayings come from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Possibly. It was in the sail.
Yeah.
Go already. Yeah. And then he's gone.
So these are just basically computer fans of some sort.